in my search for the meaning of life, and when I'm talking about the meaning of life, I'm not talking about just the meaning of being present in this actual reality on earth. For example, my relationship with society, with family, with all that entails living in a present day to day situation, like getting an education, finding a job, friendships, relationships, and every single aspect of day to day human endeavors. When I talk about the meaning of life, I'm talking about also um, it was the search for who am I really am? Where do I come from? It was the similar search that Gautama Siddhartha Buddha went through when looking around and seeing old age and disease and pain and suffering, and even in the small pleasures of life or the happiness that you get from physical sensations, eating, sexual experiences, watching a comedy, laughing with friends, playing sports, even that I got pleasure from all of that stuff. There was still that missing link of this is gonna end. This is only a passing experience. So if I'm here in this body and I in time space, my body is 15 years old or 20 years old, where was I 100 years ago, 500 years ago, 1000 years ago, 10,000 years ago? Where will I be after this body goes away? Where will I be 100 years from now? Assuming that time was real in that sense, where will I be 500 years from now? Where will I be 1,000 years from now? And of course, growing up in the traditional Christian family, none of that stuff gave me any answers. I went through the period in this lifetime of knowing that there were no answers for me in any of the traditional religions. So that's when past life memories start playing a big part in my life. I'm talking about me as someone may said. Are you talking about the ego, personality, me? And we get into those kind of games. Who is the me? Is the this introspection and reflection and all the self-inquiry. When you are enlightened, you can use me, because me in that sense is the totality, including this physical form. Me present right here, right now, as this temporary energy entity. So it is me. Some teachers or some holy books may say this is all emptiness, there is nothing here, there is no one here. Sometimes it feels that way. Sometimes in a deep sense of distraction from physical appearances, there is nothing. There is only the emptiness and the conscious light, which is my real nature. Not that this is not real, this is just temporary reality. But this must not be denied. And the ones who deny that this is a reality, and you say there is no one here, there is nobody here, just throw a tomato on his face to see how he reacts, because it is nonsense to deny this. There is no denial, there is no separation. So this is real. It's just a different type of reality. It's not the ultimate reality in its sense, but it is at the same time. It is consciousness expressing itself as this. For whatever reason, there is a lot of mysteries, a lot of questions that should not be asked, and a lot of questions that are asked that will never have an answer. And there are some questions that the answers will never be understood in the current mind frame of third dimensional existence. After you get the expanded version of you and start leaving all this behind, even in this current lifetime, like I do many times, make this just disappear and travel to different planes of existence. A lot of stuff that I can even talk about, because it is not for me to try to convince anyone, and it's not for me to, unless I have a very close disciple that I feel that I wanted to share this. But to share this through a video, it won't make any sense. Just leave it at that. It's the planes of existence, all the different planets, energies. Some are also third dimensional, some are fourth dimensional, fifth dimensional, and so on and so forth. This is creations, but behind all of that is always consciousness, the creator of all of this. It's an eternal game. Eternal game. It's not that after enlightenment you are that light that will forever stay still. No. Once this has been introduced, this, which there are many speculations of how everything began, but once this has been introduced, there is never a coming back to just being a pure source, just only. There is a permanent flow, ebb and flow of creation in different energies, systems. It's very, very hard to explain. But when you get there, you will laugh and you will see how beautiful it is to be able to flow through all those empty spaces. Very hard to explain. And I don't expect anybody to get it. So coming back to the beginning of my sharing of my experiences in this lifetime, there were no really answers to my questions when I was seeking for those answers about the true nature of life and living. in what was and what will be. And of course, like I said, everybody's allowed to have their own beliefs and their own ways of seeing life and becoming that, uh, believing in a separate God that will take care of everything, and even everybody's suffering, he will just look down and don't do anything because it is your way of suffering this lifetime, so you get the reward in your next life, or whatever your beliefs are. I don't get into that stuff anymore. Um, just my own personal experience, which one of my first steps, that's what I wanted to talk about also, one of my first steps towards achieving the wisdom of awakening was to leave fear behind, to achieve ultimate freedom. And I want to define those two words, the fear and the ultimate freedom. To me, there can be no ultimate freedom or liberation. Someone said that there can be liberation after death, which is not true either. It's not because you die you are liberated. Then why don't you go and kill yourself and be liberated? That will be so easy. But if you are not ready, even if you die, you're still enmeshed in all these aggregates, and that's another 1,000-page book talking about all this stuff. But if we start playing with all those images and all those mind images and reflections and imaginations, and will be lifetime after lifetime, like Scientologists playing with all the emotions and images for lives and lives and getting nowhere. That's part of the spiritual understanding creation. But to get through that, I'm talking about leaving all fear behind. If you're still afraid that somebody's going to punish you, if you're still afraid of leaving the past teachings behind, somebody told you that God is going to punish you for trying to achieve wisdom, or for even denying the existence, which is a lot of nonsense, then there is no freedom, because you will always be, of course, like I said, it is a valid belief for those who wants to believe that. I'm just expressing my own way of seeing life. Somebody wants to believe that, which is like millions of people who have all those beliefs, and to them they are true, and they listen to the way I'm talking, or they read some of the Advaita Vedanta teachings of teacher. They will say, oh, this is insane, this is crazy, because how can you deny the existence of the Supreme, or you go into these so many sufferings in the next life because they didn't believe in, so everybody have their own beliefs. But to me, to get through the ultimate wisdom of freedom was to leave all those fears behind. The fear of falling into hell, the fears of not believing what somebody taught you thousands of years ago, but ventured in that path of, I wanted to know the truth. I wanted to know what is behind all of this veil of illusion. Let's call it that way. Maya, they call it. So that's the first fear that you have to leave behind. The fear of someone out there punishing you because you wanted to know more about yourself in life. Also freedom. If you're still subject to someone else, you're still subject to being an effect of someone out there, you are not free. You can never be free. That is no freedom. Freedom or liberation is absolute independence of anything else. In the spiritual sense, you can never depend on anyone else, ever. Absolute freedom is to know yourself as the ultimate creation or the ultimate creator, the one without source, the one, like the Bhagavad Gita said, the one that was here from the, it sounds contradictory to say from the beginning, because there is beginningless. The Bhagavad Gita said, there was not a time when you were not here, nor will ever be a time when you will cease to exist. So, being fearless and being in the ultimate freedom of non-dependence, and seeing your eyes become like a laser. When Superman with the laser eyes will destroy anything, your eyes will destroy the veil of illusion to see what is not there and what is there. And life becomes so easy. I'm not saying that you're going to be successful in society. No, I'm not talking about that easy. I'm talking about now the fear of extinction of the human form is not really any concern anymore. It is, in a sense, kind of, you get some emotional stuff still going around because you're still here, you're still reflecting yourself through this is your mask. So when this mask start vanishing and start going away, there may be some sensations, but they'll soon disappear, and the bright light of consciousness, which is my true nature, will always be shining.